Well, fine. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. As you can see, there is a person in the video in just a moment here, but let me just pan around and see. Oh my gosh, it's a cemetery. Imagine that. One of my favorite places in the world to be. And no worries, there will be a video on this cemetery as well. But in front of me here is Melissa D, singer, songwriter, amazing person. We used to work together years ago, and since she is working on getting her name way out there, because it should be way out there, she has offered to sing a song a cappella for us. So, what song? What song are you going to sing for us?
Poor Wayfaring Stranger.
Poor Wayfaring Stranger.
Yeah, it's an old standard. I think it was like written in like the 1800s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very old song. And it was actually in a movie, and of course now the name of the movie escapes me, but I think it's 18... I know I'm going to mess it up, and people watching will correct it in the comments.
And let them, because they like to.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was, I want to say 1812 or 1912 or something like that. But it was a war movie, and the song was sung in the movie recently.
Wow.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well.
Yeah, and I got a dog near me on the leash, so.
I do see this. So this is Roosevelt down here.
Yep.
And let me pan in so you get a better look at this good-looking little guy. Look at him.
Me too.
He's a good-looking boy.
Oh, man.
He's been a very good boy with us today, too. So,
He has.
he has.
So, yeah.
Alrighty, so whenever you are ready.
All right.
And actually, hasn't that been performed by other people, the Poor Wayfaring Stranger?
Yeah, it's an old standard. It's been performed by lots of, it's been covered by lots of musicians over the years. So it's kind of one of the favorite old standards. So yeah.
And you're going to hear it here on with us.
Yeah.
Well, with me anyway, and you will hear it later on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sing it, and if you want to learn more about my music, visit melissadmusic.com. Melissa D is in dog, of course. A little dog here. Good way to remember. And check it out. And if you want to hear more of my stuff, I actually covered this song in one of my YouTube videos. My show, Kerning and Coffee. I think it was in 2020. So if you want to hear it again.
I'll put a link in the video below.
Yeah.
So you can
it was cool. I was outside that day and it started raining as I was singing it.
Wow.
It was like a light misty rain.
Perfect.
And everything was green around me. It was like kind of one of those whoa magical moments. So
wow.
Yeah, it was really cool.
This sounds really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just figure out. I am a poor wayfaring stranger. I'm traveling through this world of woe. Yet there's no sickness, toil, no danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is rough and steep, but golden fields lie just before me, where God's redeemed will ever sleep. I am going there to see my Father and all my loved ones who are gone. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I am a poor wayfaring stranger. I'm traveling through This world of woe, yet there's no sickness, toil, no danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Never ceases to amaze me. I do have a question I've always wanted to ask the singer.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how you remember all the words. I mean, you don't have anything in your hands. I did have it focus on your face, you know, but so you have nothing, no teleprompter either. So how do you remember all the words?
I don't know. I just kind of do. And some songs I don't. Like some songs I just know I have down. Like that one I have down pretty good. And then if I don't remember, I just improvise. Sometimes I just make stuff up. You'll see a lot of singers do that. You'll see like, they'll kind of, sometimes you'll see them go la la la, or and they kind of just improvise. And it's kind of a way of just kind of covering it up that you don't know the words. There's ways around it. Or you'll just change it a little bit and then just say, oh, that's my version of that. But you can kind of wing it a little bit, and then I'm pretty good at just memorizing words. I kind of always have been.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all, it gets attention here.
Wow. So you play, what do you play? Guitar?
Yeah, I play a little bit of guitar. I play a little bit of uke. I also play hand percussion.
What would that entail? Like,
so I have a little shaky lemon, tambourine. I have a little cat that it's like a percussion that goes. I can't imitate it very well, but and yeah, so just stuff like that. I love hand percussion.
Which is harder than it seems, isn't it? Because you're trying to keep a rhythm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. While you're singing, and spoons too. I love the spoons. I pull those out a lot.
That is a skill. I have watched people on YouTube playing spoons, and it's like, holy cow.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm not that good, but I can play to back myself up, and just for fun, that kind of thing. So yeah. There's a whole you could really do a lot with the spoons, and there's on YouTube there's somebody they're called the Spoon Lady.
I think that she's the one I've watched.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to have her back me up in songs. That would be a dream come true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any instrument you prefer? Are the ones you do play?
Gosh, I like them all. I have a soft spot for the uke. It's just the ukulele. There's just something about it. It's just magical. And I do like the guitar though. Sometimes it's hard. It depends on the day. But if I had to pick, oh gosh, that would be hard. But because I like them both so much. But I really do like the uke though a lot. And it's little. You can just carry it, bring it with you everywhere.
Very handy. Very portable instrument. Is a beautiful thing.
Oh, it's wonderful, and it's great for songwriting. That's what I really like about it. The key, the strings, and the timbre of them. Excuse me, I'm just grabbing the leash here. The timbre of them, it just seems to resonate well with songwriting. So, yeah.
So before we continue about songwriting for just a moment, I've always wondered too, since I don't play guitar, I play piano, and that's the only instrument I play. So if you're playing guitar, is it pretty similar to playing like a banjo or ukulele or some other mandolin, any stringed instrument, or not?
Yeah, it's very similar. The chords or the strings on it have different tunings, and then you can also do different alternative tunings. That's a whole other rabbit hole on the strings, but the basic strings. And then if you put the capo on your guitar, and I can't remember how a capo is something that changes the key of a guitar. Oh, it's a little. You put it over the string, and then it makes it higher. Oh, it moves things up a key or a couple keys depending on where you put it. So you put that on. I want to say the 4th fret. Somebody please correct me if if you hear this, but if you put it on that fret, it makes it like a uke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. Before I got my uke, I did that a little bit, and I haven't done it in so long, that's why I can't remember which fret you put the capo on, but that, yeah, you can kind of make your own uke with the guitar if you want.
Holy cow.
That sound, so, and there's different kinds of ukes too, that have the different strings. But yeah, it's pretty similar, so it's, once you remember the patterns, there's different patterns on the uke though, but you kind of just remember them when you pick it up, so, yeah.
Wow, that's I kind of thought, because I know someone who plays banjo and guitar, and I think it's some with the mandolin once. What the heck?
Yeah.
I figured they must be kind of close.
They are close. There's some similarities and there's some differences. And once you kind of have the formations down, you know, what you need to do with your fingers. And, I mean, I don't do, like, any, like, crazy solos, like, or anything like that. I pretty much, you know, chords, I back myself up. I always joke, I hire the slick people for the studio recordings. but I use it for songwriting and for my live shows. And, you know, sometimes I hire guitarists to back me up to it at live shows, just depending. But yeah.
So
much fun.
It sounds like fun. Performing in front of people, no stage fright ever?
Oh yeah, I still get nervous, I joke. Yeah, I mean, my whole life, because I'm an introvert, so I get nervous, but I get excited too. It's like a mix. I still, you know, years of doing this, I still get that, ooh, I got a show coming up. Yeah, I don't think it ever really goes away.
That's cool.
I love it so much so that I have to do it, you know.
I do understand that. So the songwriting, so how long have you been writing songs, approximately?
Gosh, a long time. I want to say, I mean, my whole life really. I started getting into it more like officially, probably like 15 years ago. Yeah.
So when you write songs, are you, do you think about the music first, the songs first? How does that work? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends. I usually, because I'm primarily a vocalist, that's my first instrument. I usually, melodies come to my head, and then I strum the guitar, different chords, and kind of just see what would go with that. That's usually what I do. I'll put the capo on and, you know, try it different, you know, higher up to see how it sounds, and just kind of mess around. Usually it starts with a melody though, or just a line. I'm working on a song right now. It's called Music is My Meditation.
Wow.
And that just hit me one day. I'm like, making music is my meditation. I'm like, oh, that's a song. And I started writing it, and and sometimes I have the lyric, but I don't have a melody yet. So I'll just start playing chords, and sometimes the melody just kind of comes out of me. Sometimes I feel like it's not really me. It's divine inspiration working through me. I'm like, wow, how'd I come up with that? But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good experience, and that's typically how I do it. And some songs come easy, like it just comes out. Like I wrote the meditation one the other day, and I'm like, it didn't take me too long. And then, but other songs it takes a couple of weeks, or some take months. It just depends. And then there's the songs that they really want to be a song, but they just don't want to cooperate, and it's just not going to work, and I have to give it up, and I put them in the song graveyard cemetery. But sometimes I'll pull bits of stuff out of them later on. I'm like, well, that didn't work as a song, but I really like that lyric that was in there, or that, you know, chord progression. So I'll try it over here, and then I do a whole new song out of it.
Wow.
It's kind of like people that do sewing, which I don't at all, so I don't know much about sewing. I really suck at it, but some people have, you know, they have, you know, all their supplies. You know, they have the fabric, they have pieces of fabric from other projects, and then they might take that and make like something new with it. It's kind of like that.
Wow. Yeah, like quilting.
Like quilting. That's the word I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I have to say, it's always interesting to see to read here whatever the stories of how people write songs. Writing on the napkins in places, for instance. Yeah. The stories are so fun. So knowing that you have essentially this graveyard that you pull from too. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of it's up here, and then some of it's on like recordings, because I carry like a little task cam with me. It's a little recorder, and if I think of a melody or an idea, I'll just push record and say what it is, and then I can refer to it later if I want to build on it and do a song, or if I'm looking for ideas, I'll kind of go through my task cam.
Wow.
Oh, maybe I'll try something with that.
That's fabulous. You must have quite a library on that thing.
I do. Sometimes I have to go through it and clean it out. Like, I'll find songs that I released and I finished, and they're, I've released out into the world, and I'm like, oh, I'm all done, but I don't need that anymore. Delete. So, just to keep it, cleaned up, because it does fill up eventually. You'll get the little thing that says, we're full.
Yes, I do know that. I have my, because I record on my phone, and then I'll see how close I am to getting full, and say, oh, I've got to delete something. All the pictures gone. And once the videos are uploaded, they can be deleted as well.
Oh, yeah, so you get it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're on Instagram too?
I am. I'm on Instagram. What am I on there?
Twitter.
I'm on Twitter. Instagram, I'm Vermont Made Songs, at Vermont Made Songs. Vermont spelled out.
And Made is M-A-D-E.
M-A-D-E. Vermont Made Songs. That's the name of my my music business. Because I also do custom songs. So Vermont Made Songs on Instagram. Twitter, I believe it's just VT Songs, or VT Made Songs. And it's probably best just to go to my main website, melissadmusic.com, and on there, all my different platforms that I'm on show up right there. The little icon.
Yes.
Whatever your favorite one is, you can just click on that and follow.
It's super easy to find her.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, I'm easy to find. I've been doing this a while, so. And the one I'm on the most, I would say, is probably Instagram. I have been getting onto Twitter a little bit more lately, though. I kind of took a break from it for a while, but started getting on there a little bit more. This depends, but it seems like a lot of my stuff. It seems like I'm on Instagram the most, probably out of all of them.
How often do you upload to any? Well, I guess we'll start with Instagram. Because I seem to recall getting quite a few Twitter announcements from you recently.
Yeah, I kind of started getting into Twitter again after a long time. It just depends. Like, I can go a while and not post something, and then I'll post. But any relevant updates definitely go on Twitter. Like, I make sure. But silly little anecdotes, and a lot of that goes on Instagram. And then Facebook also. I've got it set up too. When I post to Instagram, it goes to Facebook.
Oh, isn't that fabulous?
Oh,
yeah.
That's the best feature ever.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So
and Twitter. It sends something to Twitter as well.
Ooh, I'll have to do that.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good idea.
Let's just kill all the birds with one stone.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, because it's I'm an independent artist. I don't have like a big corporation or a big team helping me out with my work. So any little shortcuts like that, fine. It's always good.
Yeah. So as an independent artist, how much harder has it been to get your name out there, to get your music out there? I mean, the internet is a great equalizer.
It is. Yeah.
So you've saved expenses by not going with a big label. But has it been really challenging to get your music out there, you think?
I don't, overall, I don't think it's been easier than you think. Like, because it's just, it's hard to explain, but just because of the internet, you can reach so many more people now. And the numbers that you see, like, compared to the major labels, it looks small, but for independent artists, to have like 100 subscribers on your channel is an accomplishment. Because it's, you know, you don't have anybody representing your work. So, you know, in a lot of ways, it's easier, and because the whole world's out there.
True.
But in some ways, it's harder. But I wouldn't ever want to go back to how it was before, because the only way, you didn't really have independent artists, you know, back then, 30 years ago. It just wasn't an option.
True.
It's kind of, I like the idea of it. Like when I was younger, it was always, oh, it'd be so cool to get a record deal. But then as I got older, I learned more and more about it, and like the drawbacks. And there's a lot. I mean, they take your, you know, they take over your publishing. I mean, you can get ones where they don't, or they do it just for like 3 or 4 years, and then it reverts back to you. Yeah, always ask for, if any musicians watching this, always make sure that there's a reversion clause in your contract, that it'll go back to you, you know, in a few years on anything. If you ever see the word perpetuity, don't sign it.
That's not even good in a graveyard, people. Perpetual care, remember that. No.
Yeah, if you see it, yeah, perpetuity, that means they're going to take your rights forever.
Wow.
So don't sign anything. I'll try to get a lawyer, if you can get a lawyer, but yeah, so they do take over your publishing, which can be a good thing if you want someone to work your, you know, work your catalog, work your music. It's great. But then there's some deals out there that they take everything you make, like even your day job. Like you could sign a contract and they call it a 360 deal. Those are nasty. Like, so they'll take like anything. So you go get a day job to, you know, pay some bills or whatever, and they'll take a percentage of that.
Oh.
So basically anything you take on, any projects.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that, but I'm not a musician, but wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of sharks and scammers out there. You have to be really careful and know your stuff. Do your homework. Because yeah. So that indie part, the good news is you own your own stuff. You own all the copyrights. You can do what you want, make your own choices on things. If you see a project or something, I don't want to do that, then nobody's going to be like, well, as part of the contract, you have to go do that show or do that tour. So that's the good news. You can do what you want. You're independent. The bad news is you're independent. Nobody's helping you. I mean, you can, you know, hire people for your team and get support. But you're doing it on your own.
It's a double-edged sword, but it's a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but being independent has its pluses.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing what you want, when you want, how you want. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nobody's telling me to, you know, dress a certain way or do a certain thing. Or, yeah.
You can be authentic.
I can be authentic. I can just be me.
Yeah.
And that's really important to me, my music. Like, I don't want to be somebody I'm not. And it took me a long time to get there, because when I was younger, I always wanted to be like cool. And I never was. So, but as soon as I gave up on being cool, my life got a lot better. So.
Yeah. So the songwriting you were talking about earlier, not the mechanics of it so much, but you said you're going to be moving more into the songwriting piece. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us more about that, please?
I don't understand your question.
Darn. All right, so I meant the custom songs. So.
Yes. Oh, yeah, the custom songs. So this is a business model that I'm launching. It's under Vermont Made Songs, and I write custom songs for couples, special occasions, nonprofits, businesses, and businesses. So I turn your story into a song.
Wow.
And I'm relaunching this because I launched it a couple years ago.
Before COVID?
Before COVID. It's like BC and AC, and hopefully it'll be AC soon.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, I, launched it before and just had a lot of other things going on, and so I'm relaunching. I'm networking with wedding planners and people that are in, the wedding industry, because that's a big part of what I'm doing right now, is working with the wedding industry. So custom song for your wedding day, you can play it like in the ceremony, or the first dance, or as a surprise. There's a lot of things you can do with it. And then the recording, this a new thing that I just started doing. I can, you have the option to have the song placed on Spotify, so you can share it with your friends and family.
Wow.
'Cause everybody's doing Spotify now. I mean, you get the MP3 copy of it too, of course, but the option, you have that option, so that's pretty cool.
So when it's on Spotify, is it still your song if this is a custom song for someone else?
So it's going to go under, I just launching this, so I haven't put one on there yet, but it goes under Vermont Made Songs. That'll be the artist name that it will go under. So it'll be separate from the Melissa D stuff. And what's cool about Spotify, though, is I can put on there that I was the artist on the song, Melissa D, and it'll click and it'll go to my other account. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Oh, what a beautiful thing. Yay.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yes, I like that a lot.
I love it, internet. That's where it's cool, being an independent artist these days, because there's so many things like that. There's a lot of good stuff out there that really helps us, companies, and there's a lot of sharks too, though. So you gotta wade through them to find the people that are helpful.
Well, that adage of if it sounds too good to be true, yeah, it probably is.
Exactly.
So be careful out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people that say, I'll place your music on Spotify playlists. Like, there's a lot of those out there. They'll pay me a bunch of money and we'll get you placed on playlists. Like, that's a scam.
Especially since you can do that yourself.
Exactly.
Is there a cost to that?
Yeah, you basically, you have a digital, they call it a digital distributor, or digital aggravator. I don't know, the word aggravator always makes me laugh. Sounds like you're pissing somebody off. Put my song on Spotify, damn it. But that's just what they call it. But they're a digital distributor or aggravator, and they and there's a bunch of different ones you can pick, and they all have their ups and downs. But you know, perks and negatives and positives. But you pick one that resonates and works well, and then you use them to distribute your work.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that's out there.
It is. It's so cool.
Wow. I should check out Spotify, because admittedly I'm not on Spotify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't listen to Spotify. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
It is pretty cool. It's a lot of musicians love to hate on Spotify. Like, oh, they, you get pennies per stream and blah, 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 blah. And they're right. There is some negatives to it, but it gets your music out there. It's a big platform. You can use it for discovery purposes. You don't have to put everything you ever do on there. You just put a few on there, and you can do other stuff on your website. Just to have representation on there, I think, is important, because that's where everyone's going to these days. So.
And you never know who's going to be listening.
That's right.
Yeah. Could be the next person for your gig. Could be the next person to hire you for a specialty song. Mm-hmm. Could be anyone.
Yeah, it's neat. That's what I love about the internet. Like, I got a message from somebody last night. They just signed up for my my email list, and I do have an email list, by the way. I offer a free. We were talking about free earlier. We were saying that's an F word, but it's a good F word.
This is true.
And it's a 4-letter word too. But I have a free 4-song care package that you can sign up for and keep in touch with me. And somebody last night found my work and signed up for my list and really liked my song Little Girl, and said that she found, when she listened to it, it made her day. It really
Wow.
It meant a lot to her, and it helped her get through a tough day.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. Well, that's why I do this.
Absolutely.
That's my why. Like, really, be able to touch someone's life like that with a song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's an awesome reason. Yeah. Wow. It's incredible stuff. So, any final things you'd like to?
Your last words.
Well, we are in an appropriate place for last words. Yeah. Again, I'll just pan for a moment.
Yeah.
You see.
These are our buddies.
Yeah. And Mary is behind us, in case you didn't see her right there.
The Vanna White thing.
The Vanna White thing. Yeah. There you go. Yes, indeedy. I don't know what this thing is for, but.
Well, I joked that, like, I don't play bars anymore. We saw this. I'm like, hey, I don't do bars anymore.
I know, because the first thing I thought was the bar area. So for those who don't know, not religious. I am not religious whatsoever. If you've been watching my videos, you have heard me say this multiple times. But, that's what it looks like. What does it look like to you guys? You can leave in the comments below.
Looks like a bar.
It does look like a bar.
Yeah.
Sacrilegious in a Catholic cemetery.
Right.
But it's a sunny day. I don't think I'll be struck down quite yet.
If you swear, you say holy. Can I swear on this? You won't get.
Well, I'm not monetized anyway.
Okay. So you say holy shit because it's Catholic.
Oh, there we go.
That's always the joke I make.
Yeah, well, we'll go with that. Yeah, but sacrilegious is just a titch. Though I do try to curb that in an actual cemetery video. But anyway, this is just such a great spot. The trees are right behind us. I'll back up a little bit so you can see better what the scenery looks like. Look at those beautiful trees. And the whole scenery here is just fabulous. But move closer again.
Get some nice spring days here in Vermont.
Oh, it's been gorgeous. What was it, 60 Fahrenheit on Sunday, and yesterday was 40, but rainy, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And today I think it's 34 degrees, but you wouldn't know it. It feels so warm out here.
Oh, I know, it's fabulous.
I'm not complaining.
No, not either.
Because I don't see white stuff all that much on the ground over here. Well, ice. That's ice over there, but.
Ice, baby.
Yeah. Oh. All right, so any lasting impressions you want to offer us?
Not that I can think of. I appreciate whoever's listening out there. Taking the time to learn more about me and listen to my song and my story. I really appreciate it, and I'd be honored if you kept in touch.
So, give us a rundown of where people can reach you and where they can learn more about you, please.
Absolutely. Probably the best thing is just to go right to melissadmusic.com. Melissa D is in dog, I always say. .com, and on there you'll get right when you open up my homepage, you'll see the 4-song care package email list thing. It's called Kindred. You'll see that comes right up, and then if you want to sign up for that, and then you'll see all the little platform icons, all the things I'm on. It's at the bottom there, or actually it's closer to the top. You'll see that, so it's really easy to. And a video's on there for my song Little Girl. That's an EP that I released in 2020, and Little Girl's the title track from that EP. You'll see that right on there if you want to check that out. So that's pretty much all my stuff's there, and yeah, check it out. I'd be honored to keep in touch.
Very cool. Well, I want to thank Melissa D for coming on my channel today. Really appreciate that. And although it may seem sort of strange, I think it's a lovely venue where we are today.
It is.
It is.
Nobody to complain or tell me to turn things down. Or
it's pretty peaceful, I have to say, here.
It's the best gig I've had.
Indeed. So anyway, so Melissa D, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here. And I appreciate the work you're doing out, tracking all this stuff down so it doesn't get forgotten, because it's really important.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, thankfully I love what I do as well. But I don't sing. Every now and then in a video I will do a little bit, but I promise I won't do that very much. Because I am not a singer by any stretch of the imagination. But this is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. If you are enjoying my content, I'd really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell, and you will be notified each and every time I upload a brand spanking shiny new video.
Subscribe.
Just for you. That's right, subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe. This lady is awesome.
Well, thank you very much. And you are as well. It takes one to know one, as they say. So thanks so much for tuning in. And until I see you tomorrow, you have a great night. Thanks so much.